Imagine waking up 2,000 years ago with bad breath, no toothbrush, no mint toothpaste, and absolutely no dentist who could save you. Your options were simple. Chew a stick, rub salt into your gums, scrape your teeth with crushed bones, or, if you were Roman, put something in your mouth that should never have been anywhere near a mouth. For most of history, dental care was not about a bright smile. It was about pain, status, superstition, and trying not to lose every tooth before the age of 40. Today, we are counting down 10 strange, disgusting, and weirdly clever facts about how people clean their teeth over the last 2,000 years. And by the end, modern toothpaste will feel like a miracle in a tube. Fact 10. The chewing stick was the original toothbrush. Before plastic toothbrushes, before bristles, before dentists asked if you flossed while staring directly into your soul, people used sticks. Chewing sticks were used in ancient Egypt, Babylon, Africa, India, the Middle East, and many other places. The idea was simple. You took a twig from a useful tree, chewed one end until it frayed into fibers, then used it like a brush. Some sticks came from aromatic or antibacterial plants, like miswak from the Salvadora persica tree. And here is the annoying part. It actually worked. Miswak can help reduce plaque, freshen breath, and clean between teeth. So while modern people were waiting for an electric toothbrush with Bluetooth, ancient people were already walking around with a pocket-sized dental tool grown from a tree. Primitive? Maybe. Stupid? Not really. Fact 9. Ancient Egyptians made tooth powder from ashes and shells. The ancient Egyptians cared about teeth because they cared about appearance, status, and not looking like a corpse before actually becoming one. They used early tooth powders made from ingredients like ashes, powdered ox hooves, eggshells, pumice, and myrrh. Yes, ox hooves. Nothing says fresh morning routine like rubbing powdered animal feet against your teeth. The powders were abrasive, which helped scrape away stains and food. But there was a problem. Too much abrasion can wear down enamel. And once enamel is gone, it does not grow back. So Egyptian dental hygiene was a trade-off. Cleaner teeth today. Destroyed teeth tomorrow. Still, compared to doing nothing, it was an upgrade. A painful, dusty, hoof-flavored upgrade. Fact 8. The Greeks and Romans used charcoal, bark, and bones. The Greeks and Romans had strong opinions about clean teeth. They used powders made from charcoal, tree bark, crushed bones, oyster shells, and sometimes powdered stone. If it was hard, dry, and could be smashed into dust, someone probably tried brushing with it. Charcoal helped absorb odors and remove stains. Crushed shells worked like sandpaper. Bones added that special, "I hope this was clean first" energy. Roman writers even talked about white teeth as a sign of beauty and refinement. Because apparently, even in a world of plague, conquest, and public executions, people still had time to judge your smile. Vanity is undefeated. Fact 7. The Romans used urine as mouthwash. Yes, this is the one. Ancient Romans used urine as a cleaning agent, including for laundry and in some cases, for dental hygiene. Why? Because stale urine contains ammonia, and ammonia can help whiten and clean. That does not make it emotionally acceptable. Roman authors mention people using imported urine, especially from Portugal, as a prized cleaning substance. Imagine being rich enough to import mouthwash, and the mouthwash is still urine. Technically, it had a chemical explanation. Socially, it was a crime against everyone within breathing distance. The Romans built roads, aqueducts, legal systems, and then somehow looked at a cup of old urine and thought, yes, this belongs in my mouth. Civilization is complicated. Fact 6. Medieval people did clean their teeth, just not like you think. A common myth says medieval people never clean their teeth. That is not true. They did clean them, just badly, inconsistently, and with whatever horrifying material was nearby. People used cloth, linen, salt, sage, mint, rosemary, vinegar, wine, ash, and tooth powders. Some medical texts recommended rubbing the teeth and gums with herbs. Others suggested rinsing the mouth after meals. So no, medieval people were not all walking around with completely black teeth and dragon breath. But sugar became more available to the wealthy over time, and that changed everything. Rich people could afford sweet foods. Sweet foods caused decay. So in a very funny historical twist, rotten teeth became associated with status. Nothing says I am elite like having enough money to destroy your own mouth. Fact 5. Toothpicks were a status symbol. For centuries, toothpicks were not just practical. They were fashionable. Ancient people used toothpicks made of wood, bone, metal, ivory, silver, and gold. In medieval and Renaissance Europe, wealthy people sometimes carried ornate toothpicks as accessories. You could clean your teeth after dinner and silently inform everyone that you were richer than them. A gold toothpick was basically a luxury watch for your gums, and people used them publicly. At meals, in conversation, at court, because apparently digging food out of your teeth in front of others was fine, as long as the tool was expensive enough. History is mostly people doing disgusting things with confidence. Fact 4. Early toothpaste could damage your teeth. By the 18th and 19th centuries, commercial tooth powders became more common. That sounds like progress. It was progress in the same way that replacing a bear trap with a rusty knife is progress. Many powders contained harsh abrasives: brick dust, cuttlefish bone, chalk, charcoal, salt, and powdered minerals. They cleaned stains, yes. They also scratched enamel, irritated gums, and sometimes made dental problems worse. Some products promised white teeth, fresh breath, and elegance. What they delivered was often a slow sanding of the only protective layer your teeth had. Marketing has always been brave. Not honest. Brave. Fact 3. Bad breath was fought with herbs, spices, and perfume. Before modern mouthwash, people fought bad breath with herbs and spices. Mint, cloves, cinnamon, anise, fennel, parsley, cardamom, and other fragrant plants were chewed or brewed into rinses. This was not always about dental health. Sometimes it was about hiding the evidence. Bad teeth, stomach problems, infections, old food, wine, tobacco, and general human existence all produced breath that could end friendships. So people covered it up. A clove in the mouth was the medieval version of, I brushed, trust me. Did it cure decay? No. Did it make standing close to someone slightly less tragic? Yes. And sometimes that was all society could ask for. Fact 2. The modern toothbrush took a long time to arrive. The first mass-produced toothbrushes began appearing in Europe around the late 18th century. One famous early version is linked to William Addis of England, who reportedly made a toothbrush while in prison using bone and bristles. That means one of the ancestors of your toothbrush may have been invented by a man sitting in jail looking at a bone and thinking, I can improve civilization. Early toothbrushes used animal bristles, often from pigs. They were stiff, unhygienic, and could hold bacteria. So yes, your ancestors brushed their teeth with pig hair, and somehow still judged younger generations for being soft. Nylon bristles did not become common until the 20th century. Modern oral hygiene is much younger than people think. Fact 1. Fluoride changed everything. The biggest revolution in dental history was not mint flavor. It was fluoride. In the 20th century, researchers noticed that certain communities had fewer cavities when their water naturally contained fluoride. Eventually, fluoride was added to toothpastes and, in some places, public water supplies. Fluoride helps strengthen enamel and makes teeth more resistant to acid attacks. That matters because cavities are not mysterious little curses. They are chemistry. Bacteria eat sugar, produce acid, and that acid dissolves tooth enamel. For thousands of years, humans scraped, rinsed, chewed, burned, powdered, and prayed. Fluoride finally gave teeth a real defense. Not perfect, not magic, but a massive improvement over rubbing crushed shells into your mouth and hoping for the best. So, How did humans clean their teeth for the last 2,000 years? With sticks, ash, shells, bones, salt, herbs, charcoal, vinegar, pig bristles, and at one low point, urine. The history of dental hygiene is not a straight line from ignorance to science. It is a long, uncomfortable experiment conducted inside the human mouth. Some methods were clever, some were useless. Some were so bad they should have been classified as punishment. But every one of them came from the same fear: tooth pain. Because before modern dentistry, a bad tooth was not just annoying. It could ruin your sleep, deform your face, poison your blood, or kill you. So the next time you squeeze toothpaste onto a soft toothbrush and complain that the mint is too strong, remember this. For most of history, the alternative was a stick, a bone, or a Roman with a very disturbing cup.